Hi friends, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing a houseplant tour. I'm really excited to be doing this. I have gotten quite a few new plants since the last time I did a tour. I've also gotten rid of some, traded some, stuff like that. I may end up doing this video in two parts. I'm not quite sure yet, just depending on how long it is. So we are going to go ahead and start in the kitchen though, because I wanted to save my bedroom and the plant room for last, because I redid a little bit of the plant room semi-recently. I kind of adjusted things a little bit and I really like how it's looking. And then the same thing with my bedroom. I rearranged it like a lot, so it looks really different in there. So we're gonna start in the kitchen. Okay, here is a quick overview of all the plants in here. I really just have plants on the windowsill, and because the lighting's not great, I'm just going to take each of them down individually. So the first ones are the string of hearts propagations that I'm taking. I just put these in here a couple weeks ago, I think, and they're rooting up pretty well, so I should be able to pot those up soon. I'm hoping that each one of these will be able to be its own little like pot, and I'll be able to sell them in our plant slash coffee trailer. And then of course right here we have my beautiful Maranta, my red Maranta that was given to me by my mom's friend Kinsey. I really like how it's growing as well. This has been the only one, I'm gonna jinx myself, but this has been the only one that I've been able to grow and not like for this long and not kill it. So I'm really excited about it. There are some like dead leaves in here, but for the most part it's like putting out new growth, and I think it really likes the spot in the kitchen. It hasn't flowered for me yet, which kind of sucks, but I'm honestly okay with it. Joyce has a cutting, or she had a cutting of this, and it was growing really well and it flowered for her, and then it died, so that kind of sucks. But I have another propagation of it right here that I hope to give her if it ever roots up. I don't know if it will or not. It's been in here for a while and it's not showing any signs of doing anything. So I may end up moving it to perlite if it doesn't do anything in another week or so, because I kind of feel like that might work a little bit better. But yeah, this plant is looking really good and I'm really happy with it. And then the next one is my little Hoya Crimson Princess. I'll turn it around. All these are the newer leaves since I got it. These two are even coming out sun-stressed, which is really pretty. I really like this one. I have a couple cuttings of it in my propagation bin, which I'll probably show you guys later. Which I don't know if I want to sell those or if I want to use it to make a fuller pot of this. I might put one of them in here and then keep one of them, put one of them in their own pot to like sell, but I don't know yet. We'll see. Next, I just have this little, the Kraken rum bottle. It's just like teeny tiny little bottle that I found at a thrift store, and I'm just using it to propagate a little cutting of heartleaf philodendron. And I really like how it looks. I think it's just super cute and I just like how it looks. Right beside that, I have this like dog pot that Austin gave me for like Christmas or something. And I have some kind of epipremnum growing in here. And it is in a really small pot, so it dries out pretty quick, which I don't think it likes. But this is a newer leaf, and this one is semi-new as well, so it is growing. I just have to remember to keep up on the watering, which is kind of why I like to keep like my my Maranta and my smaller plants up here, because they're right by the sink for me to just water them really easily, which is really nice. So I can just like, if I'm here doing dishes, I can just like take a cup and add some water to them whenever I see that they need it. So this one is doing okay. I think I might actually propagate it soon and try to grow another one like in a terrarium setting or something, just so I can get it really big. And then this little one right here actually belongs to Vivian. And look at those roots. Man. So I don't even know what plant this is. I just got this like off of Etsy as like a birthday gift for her. It's like a little kid, like they get to paint the pot and then they plant the seeds. And yeah, she just did this like a few weeks ago and it's already huge. So like the seeds sprouted within like a couple days. So they're really good for kids because kids aren't very patient. So yeah, and this thing's just growing really fast and she loves it. And I'm really happy that she takes an interest in the plants as well. So yeah, Vivian's little plant. I don't know if she's named it or not. I should ask her if she has a name for her plant yet. And then right beside that one is this little llama pot that has some like barrel cactus in it. There's a little baby in here. This one wasn't growing for a while, but then I started watering it a little more this summer and now it's like taken off. So I might need to repot it soon, but I really like how it looks. It's just really cute, this little like combination of the white and the green. I really like it. It kind of looks like it's like carrying something on its back, like it's like traveling somewhere. I don't know. I just think it's cute. And then beside it in some sphagnum moss, I have this philodendron. I forget what the name is. I want to say it's like Rio something. But this is a cutting that I took from my mom's plant. And it has this new leaf coming out, which looks a little wonky, but that's fine because it is like adjusting to being propagated. And then it has new growth down there. And the roots are coming in pretty well. I'm really glad that this made it because I really like how this plant looks. My mom has a much bigger one that we just got from like JC's, and I just took a little cutting of it. So yeah, I'm hoping I can grow mine out to be super big too. Down here on the other side of the sink, I have this little itty bitty syngonium cutting that I've had for a while. I really like it. I don't know exactly what kind of syngonium it is. I think just like the syngonium frost. But these are two new leaves. This one is like just still unfurling. And it's really pretty. I think it really likes the humidity of the kitchen as well. I focus it a little bit. Yeah, this one's really cool. I will probably propagate it at some point just to make a fuller pot. But I really like syngonium because they're just really easy plants and they grow pretty quick and like they're just a unique kind of easygoing plant. So I wouldn't mind getting more syngonium in my collection. And then I have it in this little coffee mug pot that my mom got me, and it has like a little saucer with it too, so that's pretty cute. And then over here, this is my Photonia that, if you guys remember, I put it outside. I put it on our porch for the summer and it really hated it, so it died back a lot and I cut off a lot of dead leaves, but it is regrowing now. I think I'm seeing signs of some new growth down there. And yeah, I've just been keeping up on the watering because that was part of the issues, that when it was on the porch I didn't water it as much as I should have. And then I treated it for pest just as like a preventative. So yeah, I'm just waiting for it to start regrowing. Hey, get away from her plant. Anyway. So yes, this Photonia, I think it'll like the humidity in here this winter. So yeah, we'll just wait for that one to keep growing. And then let me step up here a little bit. In this little tote, kinda, not tote, but like, I don't know what you'd call it, just like a little container. I have a couple pots of this pothos, which I think is a cutting from either that pothos up there or my other one that's in the plant room. But I'm growing this one in hopes of maybe selling it. I don't know yet. And then on the other side, I have a cutting of actually this is like the only cutting I have of the Snow Queen pothos, which is looking so pretty. Look at that leaf. That's so pretty. I really like this plant, and it hasn't done well for me in the past. I used to have more cuttings of it, but it just was getting too dried out. Look at that leaf. That's so pretty. But this one seems to be really strong and doing well, so I have hopes for this one. I hope that leaf doesn't come out all white though, because I don't want it to be an all white plant, because that's not very good for the leaves. The all white leaves end up dying out pretty quickly. And then another semi-troublesome plant I've had is this Philodendron Brazil, which I love how this one leaf looks, but then you flip it around and you have just like all this, and they're like dying, and I don't know, it's just not doing well. It does have new growth, which is promising, but I think it is still just kind of adjusting to where it is. It was growing really well when I had it in like a cup. I was just growing it in a cup with like the lid on and like that. And then I took it out and potted it up, and now it just seems to be really angry at me. But I'm hoping that once it adjusts, that it'll start growing normal, healthy looking leaves again. Okay, I'm now standing on my counter, but I didn't want to take this plant down because it's just kind of a hassle because it is so long. But this is a pothos that was gifted to me by Janelle. When I first got it, it was really tiny, and now it's been growing quite a bit. But for some reason recently, it's been losing a lot of leaves. Like up here, it's pretty bald. All on this like section of the vine is bald, and then it's balding a little bit there, and it's balding really bad right here, which I don't know if it just doesn't like where it is or what's going on. But I had it here since like we moved in, and it was doing fine. But I also know that like pothos tend to be slow decliners, so I'm wondering if it just doesn't like something about this spot, and it's just now, like a year later, like really doing a total on it. So I may end up moving it in the near future. But the new leaves that have been coming out all look good, so I don't know. I don't know what it is. I may end up cutting some of it off, but I kind of want to get some of this like I think it's called like cloning powder or something, and supposedly you can put it on like the bare like nodes of a plant, and it'll cause it to put off like a new shoot and cause it to like fill back in. So if I can do that, that would be really cool. So yeah, I might end up trying that at some point. And it does have like this whole new vine up here that's completely all new growth. I don't think it's a lack of light that's the problem, because like this window is pretty bright. But I don't know what it is. If you guys have had a plant do this before, where it just like balls in a very like weird spot, then let me know what you did to fix it. Okay, and that is all of the kitchen. So next, I think we're just gonna go ahead and go into the living room. Hi, Chino. Hi, my sweet girl. I love you. I love you so much. So all the plants that I have in the living room are just kind of over in this spot over here. So I'll show you this one first. This is an anthurium that my grandma got me for my birthday last year. I really like it. I didn't think I was gonna do very well taking care of it, just because I never had any kind of anthurium before, but it has new growth, and she got it for me in November of last year, and now it's October, and it came with these flowers, and it still has the same flowers. So like, that's kind of crazy to me, because I don't even feel like it gets a ton of light right here. Like, it's fairly pulled back from the window over here, so it doesn't get any direct light, but it does seem to really be liking it. So I'm really happy with it, because I think it looks super cute in this spot on our dining table right here. I think it just really suits the space very well. Wallace! Viv, I'm sorry. He wasn't doing this before the video. He just started doing this. I don't know what his problem is. Let's put it back. Anyway, the next plant I have, I moved in from my porch maybe a couple weeks ago, and it seems to be adjusting well to being in this spot right here. My big Monstera deliciosa that I just love. As I think I mentioned, it did get a little burnt when I left it outside once. So that's what these leaves are. That's why they're looking like that. But it's doing well. This is one of my favorite leaves. And I think it has some new growth down there. And I believe we have a big leaf coming in right here. So I'm really excited to see how this one looks. I'm really tempted to like unravel it a bit. I can tell it's gonna have fenestrations because I can see that part right there. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone, but I'm really excited about it because I tried to put this plant on a moss pole, but it just wasn't having it. I just like, it's so, oh, there's another new leaf right here. It's just so like, there's like 3 or 4 different vines in here, and I just don't know how to like corral them all together. Is it not focusing? Focus. Yeah, I just can't corral them all together, so I took the moss pole off, and I'm just gonna let it kind of do its own thing, but I do want it to get big. I just noticed too, there's another new leaf coming in down here. So yeah, I must really be liking it, and there's one right here. Wow, why is it growing better now than I feel like it was when I had it on my porch? I feel like it might enjoy it more because it does get a little bit of like direct sunlight in some spots during the day. Which it is like a shade plant kinda-ish, but like it still likes that bright and direct light. So not necessarily a shade plant, just one that grows like under the canopy in the forest. But yeah, it does seem to be really liking this. And since I moved in, I've been keeping up on the watering better, which is probably a really big thing. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And then up on this windowsill is just this really sad looking guy that I've had for a while. He's decorated with this pig because I just think it's cute. It's this little succulent and this whole bare stem up to the top. And I just like, I cannot keep up on watering this enough. I don't know why. It's a succulent, so you'd think that it wouldn't want that much water, but it dries out so quickly and then it just shrivels up. Like all of this has died over the summer. But honestly, I kind of like the look of it because I think it almost looks like a little bit of a tree. Let me move my water. I think it looks almost like a little bit of a tree, in a sense like a mini tree, and I just kind of like how it looks. I thought about propagating it, but I think I'm just going to leave it be and kind of see what happens. But I am making an effort to keep up on watering it more, and eventually I'll repot it into like a bigger pot, but for now, I'm just kind of letting it do its own thing. So this is all of the living room / dining room area. Okay, next we are going into the plant room, which is my favorite room of the house. I love this room, so does Ellie. We are like both always in here just like enjoying it. I just like how this room looks. Most of the art on the wall in here is Ellie's, and a lot of it she like hand painted herself, which is really cool. The books also look really nice, and yeah, this room is just like the curated room towards us. And of course, there's Vivian's masterpieces as well. A little artist in the making. So I guess we will start over here with this one lonely plant. This is my just regular golden pothos. It's been growing in this spot since we moved in, and I think it's really enjoying it. It's not balding at all. It's got a lot of new growth up at the top and all the way towards the bottom. I saw a picture of it the other day from like a couple years ago, and I didn't realize how small it was when I got it. like how much it's really grown, but I think it just looks really good in this space. Kind of hanging out with the books, and he's kind of fallen down, but I have these little like Jasmine and Aladdin characters that Wade got me, and I just like stick him on here to make it look like he's climbing, and then the Princess Jasmine is up here. So this is definitely one of my favorite plants just because it needs watered like maybe every 2 weeks, and it just grows and looks good all the time, and I don't have to stress about it. So I know that it's like basic to recommend people get a golden pothos for their houseplants because they're so like common, but I think that it's just a staple piece. And then right beside it, I have a bunch of cones that I've collected. A lot of these I got when we took our trip to California. This is a little sequoia cone. I think this is a sugar pine. Yeah, I think that one's a sugar pine. And then just some other random ones back here. And this little, I don't even know what it is. I have no idea what it is. But I found it just like growing in like some water somewhere in like a pond. So I just like took a little piece of it. And I just stuck it in some water, and it has this new growth. It has lost some leaves, but that's fine, because I just think it's like something that's kind of neat looking, and I wasn't really expecting it to survive, but it has for a while, so I'm just kind of letting it do its own thing. Just keep it in water. I wonder how rooted it is. Oh wow. Yeah, really well rooted. I could pot it up, but I kind of want to keep it growing in like the environment that it was growing in as much as I can. Like it's not pond water, but it's, you know, similar anyway. But yeah, really cute little plant. Okay, are you guys ready for this spot of the plant room? This one's gonna take a minute. I think, actually, let me give you like a better overview. I wish the lighting was better. Let me give you kind of an overview like this. I got this little wicker shelf, which is the newest addition, like wicker table, that I have some plants on. Little terrarium, humidity dome thing. I repotted my aloe and my cactus, and I still just have these shelves. I have plants growing on the window sills, everywhere on the window sills, up here. And then my white wicker basket, or my white wicker shelf, I just have growing different plants on it, some terrariums, some different things. And then of course the hanging plants. So actually I want my step stool, just to make it a bit easier. Okay, let's start up here. This guy I had on the porch. This is, I think it's a rat tail cactus. Excuse the train. I think it's a ragtail cactus. I had it growing on the porch and it really enjoyed it. It's like all of this is new growth that I put out just this summer. And I think it's really liking, it was really enjoying that. And I think it was just drying out too much when I had it potted in with my aloe vera, because it was just drying out too much because the aloe needs so little water. And it, like, the roots were just so shallow that it wasn't able to reach the bottom of the pot where a lot of the water was. So now it seems to be much happier. I have my little string of pearls that was gifted to me by my cousins. It's doing well, which I'm really glad about. I just am trying to fill out this pot, and it has some new growth. Yeah, I really like this one, and I like the little pot I have it in because it kind of looks like an upside down mushroom, which I just think is super cute. Move it down here for now. I hope I don't drop any plants this time. And back here is a succulent that I don't even remember where I got. I've had it for so long, and I just really like the growth pattern of it right now, because like it's almost kind of bald towards the bottom, but then it just like bushes out. It kind of looks like a heart. I didn't even think about that. It kind of looks like a heart. And because it's so top heavy, I have it like weighed down. I have the soil weighed down with some cute little rocks that I've just collected from random spots. And then it has a bunch of like aerial roots coming out, which is kind of cool. And it's like a fuzzy succulent, which I really like. This one, I almost got rid of it a few times, but in the past few months, it's just kind of grown on me a lot because it's just, again, kind of like the pothos. It's just a very simple, easygoing, like, likes to be watered on occasion, but doesn't get mad if I forget to water it for a month or so. And yeah, it's just super easy and not fussy. And then besides that one is one that's kind of newer to me. Joyce got this for me a few months ago. And the flowers are kind of starting to die off a little bit. But yeah, it's a type of succulent. I don't know exactly what kind of succulent it is, but it's got some new growth going on. I have it like decorated with sand and some little rocks. But yeah, I think this one just looks really cool, and I kind of want to try propagating it at some point. I don't really know how to explain the texture of it. It's soft, but not exactly fuzzy. It's just like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's really cool feeling. So I enjoy this plant quite a bit. I kind of wonder if as it gets bigger, if it'll be like trailing in a way. Like I wonder if these vines are going to start like trailing down. I think that would look really cool to have like a full like hanging basket of this. Like that would look really neat. And then inside here, you guys have seen this one before. Not too much has changed. Let me open it. But this is the cutting of that plant that like over a year ago, probably two and a half years ago now, a piece just like fell off of that one. And so I just stuck it in a jar so that it would like stay with like a little bit of moss so that it would like stay moist while I could like go away and do whatever I was doing and kind of forget about it. I just wanted the mosses to keep the plant alive for like a couple of days, and then I totally forgot about it, forgot to repot it, and then I opened it up one day and it's just this like full growing plant with like all these new shoots on it. And I am so surprised because I was thinking like a succulent, like I wanted it to be in somewhere where it's like a little moist for a couple of days just because I couldn't get to like doing anything with it right away, but I didn't think it would survive in this long term, which is why I wanted to like pot it up after a couple days when I got the chance. But yeah, it's been in this for well over a couple years now, and it's just really liking it. I have had to add water to it a couple times, but that's literally it, and it's just like it's thriving, and I think it's so cute. I know it'll probably stop growing soon because like the lid is kind of cutting it off, but I just really like how it looks, and I just think it's neat for a succulent to be growing like that. Okay, down to the middle shelf. I'll start in the middle. This is the little Hoya carnosa compacta that Janelle gave me forever ago that hasn't grown at all. Actually, I think this leaf is new in my care, but I've had it for like a year, and I had it sitting in a window in the living room for a while, but it was drying out too much, so like you'll notice some of the leaves are a little yellow and burnt. So I decided to move it in here, and nothing's happened yet, but I'm hoping that once it really gets adjusted, then maybe next summer it'll start shooting off some growth. But yeah, we'll see. My friend Kristen had a big one of these that I kind of like plant sat for a summer, and it bloomed for me, and I've just been like in love with it ever since. So I want this one to get that big one day and bloom for me because I would just love it. Beside it, I have a couple peperomia frost, and I don't know what this one's called exactly, but it's like a burgundy purple color. It's really neat. I just have a little mixed pot of it because I wanted to, since they were both so small, but I wanted to take them out of my little humidity dome, I wanted to pot them up together in a bigger pot so that the soil would hold on to moisture for longer. Because I don't think it likes drying out. So it seems to be doing well in this little spot. And then the last one on this shelf is this little, well, not so little. The last one on this shelf is my Philodendron SP Silver, I believe. And let me set it down. I love the little pot it's in. But you guys, look at this new leaf it put out. It's so big. I don't know if the camera will do it justice, but it is quite pretty. It has kind of like a matte finish to it. And the petioles look really cool. And it even has a new leaf growing. I had it potted into this pot, but I think that it was drying out too quick. So now that I have it in this one, it seems to be a lot happier. I really like this plant. I have a couple cuttings of it that I want to sell, but this one is going to be my plant to keep because I love it so much. I will probably have to move it from this spot soon because that leaf's going to like hit the top of this, but I'll worry about that later. The next shelf has 3 plants on it as well. Wallace, do not. Let me put this guy back. The first one on here is my silver dollar plant that my mom gave me for Christmas. I really like how it's growing. It wasn't growing for a while and I was kind of bummed about it, but I started watering it a bit more because I was thinking it's like a succulent. So I didn't want to water it too much, like I was really scared to water it. But I noticed that like the tips were like starting to grow and then they turned brown. So I think this one is more like a Hoya than a succulent. Like I don't think it needs quite as much water as like a thin leaf succulent or a thin leaf Hoya would need. But it's in terracotta, so it dries out anyway. And I think that it does just need a bit more water than I was thinking. And so since then it's put out all this new growth. There's some new growth over here. I think this is new growth. So yeah, I think I might be cracking the code on this one. And I want to get a trellis for it and grow it up a trellis because I think that would look really cool. I see a lot of people growing these either trailing, which I would also like. I really like this plant. I want it to get super big because I would just love to have a full pot of it. But I also see people growing it on a trellis, which I think looks equally as cool. So I don't know, I want to do both, but we'll see what I do. Beside it is this euphorbia, and it's like close to the top. So let me carefully take it down, and I'll sit it right here. I've had this euphorbia for a while, and it's put out some new growth, which I think is really cool. I am also really scared of overwatering this one, and I think because of that, I have underwatered it a bit. So I don't know, I'm kind of scared because like we're getting into winter, so it shouldn't need as much water, but I also want it to keep growing. So I'm like kind of wanting to give it more water, but I don't know, I just really don't want it to rot on me because I've heard that that's like a big thing for these plants. It's like once they start to rot, there's really no saving them. So I want to be careful. But I have kind of learned that with the leaves, if you like squish them, like I just watered it yesterday and this leaf is like they're fairly firm. But if they need water, then the leaves are just kind of like crinkle and bend really easily. So I'm going to start trying to pay more attention to that and use that as a gauge for when I water. And then maybe also using my moisture meter. And then right beside the euphorbia is my much beloved philodendron silver sword. This plant is just so cool. It's not growing great for me, but it's starting to do better. Again, I was underwatering it for a while, which seems to be a common theme for me. So I'm trying to get better about that, and I do have it in terracotta, but eventually, like when I have to repot it, I'm going to pot it into something else because it doesn't like to dry out that much. But I do really like how these leaves look. The blue silverish look of them is just beautiful. And I want to get it on a moss pole one day because I really wanted to get those like beautiful mature looking leaves. I just think those look amazing. There's a couple plants in here. I think there's 3 plants in here. This is the biggest one, and I cut it up a while ago, and these plants have just been growing together ever since. So I might end up separating them out at some point and putting like one of them on a moss pole. I'm not sure yet, but we will see. I also have a really bad problem with this plant and leaves getting stuck and breaking off, which again I think just comes from the underwatering. So if I can keep that under control, I think I'll be okay. Okay, and down on this shelf I have my philodendron pink princess, which is a cutting that again I got from my mom. This is the original leaf, which I'm surprised is still alive. I have it in just like a nursery pot, and I'm using a terracotta pot to cover, like a cover pot, but it has put out some new leaves. I was really unsure about this plant because I hear that they're kind of finicky, but mine seems to be doing okay. Again, it is growing. It doesn't have much pink, so I really hope it doesn't revert. But I do like it. I like the growth pattern of these kind of plants, and I'm hoping again to get this one on a moss pole at some point. But for now, I'm just trying to like get it to be its own established plant. And then maybe I'll move it somewhere with more light eventually, because you need to give this plant a decent amount of light for it to keep the pink on it. And then beside that one, I have this little terrarium, but I kind of have thrown it to the wind because it's not doing well. So I kind of put it here as like a last ditch effort, and I don't think it's going to make it, but that's fine. Beside it, I have my, what is this called? Okay, for some reason, I cannot think of what this plant is called. I'm thinking about it too hard, and it's just getting away from me. So, I'll probably think of the name in like 5 minutes, and then I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, I really like this plant. Joyce has one similar to it, but I think it gets purple flowers, and when I saw hers in bloom, it really made me want one. So, the leaves are like fuzzy, which I think is really cool, and it's just like constantly blooming for me, which is really neat. I kind of want to see if I can like self-pollinate it at some point. I'm trying to do that with a cactus. I want to try to do that with a cactus, but I'd like to try to do that with this one too. African violet, that's what this is called. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is my African violet. I like this plant a lot. I was thinking about getting rid of it like a while ago when we first moved because it just wasn't growing for me, but I think it really likes the spot that it's in right now. I've kind of cracked the coat on it. It doesn't need a ton of water. It is a pretty like easygoing plant, and I just think the foliage is really pretty. And the flowers too, which are just like this beautiful little pop of color. And then I just keep it in this cover pot that's like clay that Ellie made, and she gave it to me because I think it just complements it really well. And then down here, kind of just waiting to get thrown away, this is the fern that I rescued and then had it growing really well and then forgot to water it. Well, actually I didn't, but I went away on vacation for like a week and it croaked and has not been able to be saved. So yeah, kind of sad, but it's okay. It's a fern. Like, I should have brought it inside, but it's fine. Okay guys, so I think I am going to break this video up into 2 parts because I've already been filming for a while and I still have like most of my plants to do. I still have the entirety of like this side of the plant room and my whole bedroom, which has a lot of plants in it now. Actually, I need to go through and count and see how many I have. I'll give that to you guys on the next video. So yeah, tune in later for part 2. It'll be the rest of the plant room and my bedroom and my propagation bin. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.